Okay, we're on the air. Hi, everybody. Welcome all to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm your buddy Uncle Bruce. Nice to have you here with me today. It's Wednesday, January the 17th, 2024, and for those of you who are regulars of this show and of my channel, you are aware that yesterday was a huge day around here. Auntie Jen, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife. I don't know if you ever met her. Let me introduce her to you. You've probably never seen a photo of her before. Here's what she actually looks like right here. Here's Jen. Here we are. This is Jen and I. Just last year, we were here in the region here in the Pacific area, and Jen was wearing her typical "let's go grocery shopping and pick up a few things," because here in kind of California, Southern California, it's kind of warm and you got to stay cool. And so Jen, she's found a way to keep herself nice and comfortable. But when she gets me out of the house, she says, "Hey, you're a celebrity now, just like me. You better look the part." So she gets me all dolled up. Sometimes we go out, to fancy events. Being a YouTube sensation that I am, you gotta get out there. And so there I am. But with my wonky legs, I'm only 4 foot 8 inches tall, as you all know. I wear those titanium boosters to kind of make me look a lot taller than I am. So she holds me up there. You can see she's hanging onto my hand there and keep me going. But Jen is she's a trooper. We're all well. She had her hip operation yesterday. She had her second hip replaced. You can't tell, can you? Look at that. I mean, you can't tell she's had two hips replaced there, can you? I mean, with that photo, there was the first one done. Now the second one's done. We'll be out and about real soon. It's going to be just fantastic. The operation went extremely well. The doctor called yesterday afternoon after the procedure was done. 45 minutes is all it takes in the operating room. 45 minutes to replace a hip, using the robotics that they're using with the lasers guided things. And I mean, I can't explain it. Jen really is into it. I follow along and go, okay. But the hip operation from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 5-hour procedures to 3 hours to 2 hours, 45 minutes, done. And Jen was out of the hospital less than 6 hours. The entire procedure. She got her in there yesterday morning. Yeah, 7 hours. And she was out. She got home here last night. She walked from the garage with her walker into our condo, went to the living room, and then later we went to bed. She walked down, did her pee break, and then went to bed. And yeah, we've already been up this morning for our morning bathroom break, and now she's resting comfortably in bed. And she says, "I'll see you in 2 hours, Mr. Bruce, because Uncle Bruce is here." And so, how about that? Jen Jr. is on the way down here tomorrow. She'll be here tomorrow night. And so I will have some assistance to help look after Auntie Jen. And Thursday, also tomorrow, Jen goes in for her first therapy session tomorrow. We're talking light speed turnaround recoveries here. She's going in for physical therapy tomorrow. Unbelievable. She's using her walker as per the doctor's instructions, and it's unbelievable. So again, thank you all out there who are regulars of this channel, wishing her the best of luck and everything. It's certainly working. We thank you very much, and we're just we're so happy it's happened again. We got it. We're to this level, and now it's recovery time. And now the key here is to see how far can Jen build her strength and flexibility going forward. And so we'll see what's going on, and that'll determine what we do later this year and next year in many areas of our lives. So I'm excited. Fantastic. Thank you all for popping in today. This morning, on the stock market front, where I try to explain things in plain English, um, what's going on? I'm just looking at the headline. U.S. import prices are flat in December versus a forecast of a 0.6% fall. So prices were supposed to drop by a little over 0.5% for imports in pricing, but they didn't. It didn't drop, and so that will bring up the worry warts. People going, "Hey, wait a minute! If the inflation rate at the import level isn't happening, doesn't that mean prices at the consumer level won't go down?" That's correct. So the inflation rate isn't being crushed as maybe one thought. So this is what we will watch for. I see the Dow off 150 at the moment, approximately. I've got S&P down 22 and I got NASDAQ down 97. We've been negative all morning anyway, so this won't help. As far as oil goes, we're down 157 a barrel to $70.83. $70.83. So looks like the $70 barrier might get tested again in the middle of all this Mideast problems, the Iranians creating all kinds of problems, the Hutus in Yemen creating issues, the Russians and the Ukrainians with all their issues, China, Taiwan, and all those issues. Oil is falling. It's falling. Germany is in a recession. China is claiming that their economy grew 5.2%, yet their unemployment rate for youth is so high they won't report it. Yeah, so look at these keys, but don't look for these keys. We're putting them in the drawer, but these are shiny. China is playing the old game of restricting stock sales for institutional sellers in Shanghai to try to keep their prices up. The state interference with their economy is so outlandish. You can't trust a damn thing they say. You just can't trust financially. You can't trust these guys. You want them to pay cash. Sorry. It's just their numbers are just so unpredictable. I can tell you one number that is happening in China that you can count on, and it's official. And it is only going to get worse, unfortunately, for China. Their population dropped by over 2 million people last year. It's the second year in a row that their population numbers have declined. The experts out there who study this stuff are going with the one-child policy that they ended in 2015, where you're only allowed to have one child per family for like 20 odd years. Most families were only interested in having male children because China is so backward, as are many other countries in the world are so backward. They think countries feel that having a male shows strength for a country, when the reality is women have children. Men can't deliver babies from their bodies, but women can. China has a lack of females that have been born for 20 plus years. And so it's now beginning to show where every year the birth rate in China is lower because there are fewer females having children in birth in the birth window. There's so many decades you can have kids and then you can't. There's going to be a huge donut hole here for China over the next 15 years. And the experts are calling for China's population to shrink dramatically, like by 10 to 15% over the next decade or two. Phenomenal. So this $2 million number, a 2 million person number, is a nothing burger. Next year, it could be 5 million. The year after could be 8, because it's really going to accelerate now, because as China ages up in their population, their birth rate will naturally go down. But without a new wave of childbearing women in China, it's going to be exacerbated. So this should be most interesting. India, it's the opposite. It's wide open in India. There's no population control being done there necessarily. if there is, the well-to-do, a well-to-do Indian woman who can get away from the family dominating, this is how you will live your lifestyle. Those who can break away from that will also have fewer children, but they are an absolute minority. I mean, we're talking, I don't even know if it's 5%. If it's 1% of the women in India can get away with that. Unfortunately, most Indian women are underneath a very male dominated everything over there, like Saudi Arabia and other countries where women's rights are just laughable. And so girls have children, not women. It's almost that pathetic. And so the growth rate of India is surging, which will cause India to have its own issues and its own problems as time goes by. But hey, it's your world, not mine. I don't live there. You live there. You deal with it. But China is definitely feeling it. The population shrinkage is unstoppable, cannot be reversed. There will not be enough women to replace the population of China at the present levels, and that means it will be lower. It's really amazing, just absolutely amazing. Look, North America, Europe, Western Europe, the G20 countries, we're all suffering exactly the same thing. We are aging out. In my world, Jennifer and I, we've had one child. That doesn't even replace us. I know friends of mine, they've had two children, and that actually doesn't replace mom and dad long term, because it could be two boys, and two boys don't necessarily breed. It could be two girls, a boy and a girl, of course, but the number of children being generated by the boomer generation, which I'm the last of, towards the end of, we're not replicating enough, and our kids are definitely not generating enough, because a young couple today have to ask themselves, can we afford to have a child or two? Because one of us might not be working anymore, or one of us will definitely not be moving up the career ladder, because we're not going to be there like before. You are a woman in childbearing age, your odds of being advanced inside corporation is less. It's wrong, but it's true. And economically, a lot of people are going, whoa, no way are we going to have a bunch of kids. No way. Governments are not making it easier for us to have children. It's actually more difficult because government spending is prioritized in other areas. And so child rearing is not one area that Western governments have really pushed into. And so we are aging out. And so Canadians and Americans and Brits and Germans and French and Italians, we're getting older. And that means many of us will not be able to do menial work that is highly physically centric. We got this going for as long as they're going. We got the brain power, but we don't have the physical power. And it's already shown in Japan now for the last 20 years, and it's showing now in Japan. It's now going to show in China, and it's going to show already, like I said, in Western economies. The factories that we used to have in North America used to be operated by workers that were Second World War veterans, Korean War veterans, and the children of the Second World War soldiers, the moms and the dads, and that generation, the greatest generation. So from 1946 until 1960 odd, the birth rate in America, Canada was very good. And those kids, as they grew up and became 16, 18, 20, some went to college, university, and some went through high school to community college, got trades. And then there was a percentage of those folks who went right to work at very well-paying factory jobs. And there were generations of Detroit, Cleveland, Akron, Ohio, Toledo, Pennsylvanians, New Yorkers, Illinoisans, Indianans, and on and on and on and on, who were like father, like son. They were working at GM, Ford, Chrysler, and all the spin-off corporations that produced vehicles, refrigerators, stoves, televisions, couches, everything else, without having to get a higher end education. You can support a family of 5, mom and dad and 3 kids, on a factory job back in the day. Well, those days ended in the 80s after inflation took its toll in the 70s, and it wiped out the North American factory lifestyle and world. And of course, corporate America, corporate Canada, they had to figure out, how are we going to survive? We produce blue jeans here at Levi's. We produce refrigerators here at Whirlpool. How do we survive? Simple. We produce these items. We design them and create them at our factories and our offices here in the United States and Canada. We have the design personnel and the marketing people. They're all here, the white collar workers. But our blue collar people will now be replaced by third world or second to third world people instead. And we will be able to create a brand new refrigerator for half the price than it costs us to produce it in North America. So instead of people going to a Sears store or Woolworth or Woolco or Kmart store and buying a refrigerator for $4,000, which they would not be able to do, that refrigerator is $9.99, $7.99, $8.99, because it's made in Mexico. It's made in China, Taiwan, made elsewhere. And so that began in the 80s. Here we are in 2024, desperately trying to get industry to come back to North America. It's not working. There's industry coming back to North America where robots do the work, where very few blue-collar workers actually work. If you look at the big auto strike we had this summer, there's less than 300,000 auto workers left in the unions. There used to be millions of them, 2 million of them. We're down to 1/10, maybe 15% of the unionized workers that are left from way back in the 60s. That's a sign right there. A vehicle today is cheaper now than it ever was, even in the 60s. People go, wait a minute, Bruce, I remember buying a car for only $3,000, $2,500, $3,500, $4,500. Well, my dad got a Chevy Capri or an Impala for $3,500 back in whatever year it was. Yeah, well, adjusted for inflation, it's cheaper now to get a vehicle than then. And the vehicle you get today is a much more sophisticated piece of machinery. Some will say it's not as good because it's not as well made. Leave it to yourselves to decide. The technology inside of vehicles is unbelievable compared to what they were in 65. But hey, it's up to you to decide for yourself. Welcome all to the party. I'm not trying to make you mad. I'm just trying to recount what's going on. Look, China's in trouble, okay? Germany's in trouble. China's in trouble, which means the second and fourth largest economies of the world are not participating in the growth of the economy of the planet. The USA, number one, is plugging along, unbelievably plugging along. You could debate why and how is it that the United States is still leading the world economically when the rest of the world just isn't participating. How's this working? And some of you undoubtedly will have your opinions as to, it's all political or it's all non-political or it's all a combination of the two. I don't know. It's up to you to decide that as well. The bottom line, though, is money goes where money can make money. It's kind of how this works. Money goes to where it can make more money. And right now, a lot of money has come into the USA, buying into U.S. businesses, believing in the U.S. consumer and the U.S. taxpayer, that U.S. bonds will pay, U.S. consumers will buy, and that's what's happening in the investment markets. Look at whose markets are at record highs or very close to record highs. American markets, Canadian markets. Interesting. Now, having just said that, just saying that, now I have to tell you something else. I have to talk to you about how Apple and Tesla shares are off of their 52-week highs by quite a bit, actually. Apple was at 199 on a share, almost $200 a share at its 52-week high. And Apple is trading right now at approximately, where are we here? Pre-market right now, Apple is 182-ish ballpark. Let me double check that. 181.30. So we're down about $18, $19 a share from the high of the 52 weeks. That is almost 10%. Apple has backed off almost 10%. Tesla is at 214 right now, 214.17. Its high was 299 in the last 52 weeks, and that is a significant $85 drop from its high trade of the year. That is a significant pullback. Some other stocks like Microsoft, their 52-week high, 394, was set yesterday. That was the 52-week high, probably all-time high for Microsoft. We're at 388.96 right now, so we've given up a bit of ground there. Looking at some other Magnificent Seven, at least, Alphabet, Google, the all-time high, 146.66. It's just set a few days ago. We're at 142.69, pretty close to the high. The Amazon shares, high for the 52 weeks, 157. We're at 151.80. So that's hanging in there, pretty close to the highs. Let's look at NVIDIA. This has been nuts. 568 yesterday, 568.35, all-time high. We're at 561.97 right now. Pretty darn close to the all-time high for that stock. And take a look here at Facebook Meta Platforms. The 52-week high, 377. We're at 365, down $12, approaching a 4% pullback from the high of the last 52 weeks. Interesting to see some of these, just a few of these shares, not necessarily continuing on, but it is very noticeable at Tesla, and it is now becoming noticeable at Apple. And of course, you're talking about the two most valuable companies on the planet from a market capitalization point of view. So I find that interesting. You can't hit new all-time highs for the stock markets if the top two stocks are not going to push you, beyond. But Tesla's not the number two stock, but Microsoft is. I should correct myself. Microsoft's the number two all-time stock. It's near its highs, but Apple is definitely off almost 10%. And if Tesla keeps weakening and we get a little weakness on any of the other Magnificent Seven, these markets are lower by 5% overall, 8%. Remember, we move 10% or lower in value on the big indexes, the Dow, the S&P 500, NASDAQ. We're in a bear market. We're into correction and bear market. That is how tenuous things are. We'll watch for that. Debt. I want to talk to you about the banking business. I love SoFi. I still love SoFi. We'll always love SoFi. We are 8 trading days away from SoFi releasing financials. This is the 17th of January this morning. The 29th of January in the morning, they release their fourth quarter financials. There's a Friday and a Saturday coming and another Friday and Saturday coming between now and that day, the 29th of January. There are only 8 trading days left for this stock to trade before the numbers are released. And I wonder if it's possible that the shares have a bit of a run upwards before that 8th day. That's what I'm curious about, wondering about. It's got me interested, to say the least. We'll see what happens. But banking news, I want to talk to you more about something that happened a year ago that might happen again very shortly as the year rolls on, because this thing I'm going to talk to you about is not going away. And what is it I'm telling you? In New York City right now, there are office vacancies, to give you a snapshot of what I'm talking about here. And this is worldwide, but certainly North America wide. New York City has so much empty space in Manhattan, it equals 30 Empire State Buildings. That's how much office space is empty right now in Manhattan. And this is a year and a half, 2 years after COVID. This is 2024. COVID ended in 2022. And the post-COVID world, we're told, we were given the indications that businesses will call their employees back to work. And here we are in 2024. And I told you guys in 21 and 22 that a lot of people are not going to go back to work like they did before. They are not going to commute from Connecticut into downtown New York, go to an office tower, and then commute back 5 days a week. They're not going to do that. Many people are going to say, oh no, I'm not doing it. Many people have left New York entirely because the cost is ridiculous and their jobs don't require them to physically be in an office tower in New York anymore. It may have been needed 20 years ago, but it's not required anymore. And so 30 Empire State Buildings are empty. The equivalent of 30 Empire State Buildings are empty in Manhattan. They're talking about only 10 to 15% of those buildings could possibly be repurposed for condos or apartment rentals. The rest must be utilized as office buildings, or they have to be torn down and something else has to be built. And that is a logistical nightmare. And we're talking years down the road. But coming back to the banking side, commercial real estate in the United States is in a real pickle right now. There are trillions of dollars of bank loans that are out there that are coming due this year and next year for commercial properties that were financed 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 years ago. Every year, a certain percentage of office real estate and commercial real estate is refinanced because it's financed through the issuance of bonds in many cases. It's a scenario where banks lend money to office tower builders. The building gets built, the building gets leased, and the revenue comes in, and the bank lends out the dough, then sells the loan for that building to Wall Street. And this is done by hundreds of banks. There are over 3,000 banks in the US, probably over 4,000. So thousands of banks in the US are contacted by Wall Street, and they're asked, hey, have you got any loans you want to offload off your books so that you can lend that money again to someone else for other businesses? And banks go, yes, we love doing this, because they'll take a profit on the loan they've created and they'll offload it to Wall Street, and then they will get paid that cash and will lend again for whatever they want to lend it for, helping you buy a car, second mortgage on your house, someone else is building an office tower, whatever. Wall Street grabs all these loans and packages them up. Sound familiar to you? Does any of this ring a bell with you? They package it up and they create bonds that will finance the acquisition of these loans. And so pension funds, hedge funds, mutual funds, and you name it, are out there who invest in these bonds that are backed by the real estate of America. And it is the skyscrapers and the 20-story buildings and the strip malls and corporate campuses and so on. This used to be easy peasy finance work, absolutely no-brainer stuff. The loans are backed by the land that these projects are sitting on, number one. A downtown office tower in downtown Houston, Dallas, Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, Phoenix, you name the city, Miami. Downtown real estate on the 35, 45, 55, 60-story office tower, no risk whatsoever 10 years ago. It was a no-brainer. The land is worth a fortune. The building is a generator of all kinds of revenues. And then there are the buildings all around these big buildings that spin off as well. Just a feeding itself prophecy of profits. So banks and mutual funds and hedge funds and brokerage firms and institutional investors were in all the way. Today, it's completely different. You've got 30 to 40% occupancy problems in some of these towers. You got office towers with only half the building being utilized, which means the food court in that building is losing money. Maybe half of the operators who had kiosks in the food court have closed and walked out. They've declared bankruptcy. And so the office staff have 4 restaurants or 2 restaurants to buy food from, where there used to be 6 or 8. So they have to go to other buildings, or they Uber in food from somewhere else because they don't want the same thing every day anymore. It's a losing situation. And for banks and for Wall Street, this is a big problem. The value of bonds, of real estate bonds, have plummeted because the uncertainty around those bonds has been greatly enhanced. There are office tower owners in Manhattan handing the keys of their skyscrapers back to their bankers. The bankers are saying to the hedge fund people, hey, listen, we were collecting that money on that loan that we made, that we sold you 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They're not paying us anymore. So we can't pay you anymore. Now that bond is not collecting interest like it was before. And now bonds are technically going to go into default, which puts pension funds and hedge funds and mutual funds and ETFs and all kinds of hedge fund traders and other entities, insurance companies and other investors in trouble, because a serious number of trillions are in jeopardy of defaulting. Does this sound familiar from 2008, 9, 10? Those of you who are a little older, if you're in your mid-40s, you kind of know what I'm talking about. If you're in your mid-20s, you haven't got a clue what I'm talking about because you've never lived this. The financial crisis of 2007, 8, 9 was a direct result of the U.S. real estate market, the housing market, doing exactly what this is doing here. And it created unbelievable turmoil and hardship in America, wiped out trillions of dollars of wealth around the world. And this is the other issue with this real estate thing I'm telling you about. Commercial real estate for office towers used to be financeable anywhere in the world. So there were Chinese investors, Japanese investors, Middle East investors, European investors happy to buy pieces of these bonds that Wall Street was packaging up, because they were being packaged up in Europe as well by European brokerage firms and investment bankers, and in Asia, and in the Middle East, everywhere. And think about how much money in Dubai has been raised to build these thousands of skyscrapers in Dubai. If they go to a 30% vacancy rate, because someone working in Dubai can now work in Singapore for Dubai, or someone who's is working for a Dubai corporation can now work for that corporation in the Maldives or in Liechtenstein or in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You don't have to move to Dubai to work for a Dubai company. This puts pressure on the real estate of Dubai and Abu Dhabi and Riyadh and all the other major cities of the Mideast, where real estate has been just going crazy. You saw the World Cup in soccer from Qatar. You saw a city, it's a city-state that is just massive, massive development, cranes everywhere. There be problems in their hills. I was in Tel Aviv this year for 4 days with Jennifer, and I counted dozens of cranes in Tel Aviv at that time. This is early October, before, guess what happened? I can tell you right now that pretty well all those cranes are not moving. They're just standing there because the workers to build these office towers can't come in from Gaza and or from the West Bank. And who wants to be in a 40-story tower when rockets are being launched just from over there that might hit the tower you're in. You really want to be on the 40th floor when it gets hit on the 20th floor? Haven't you seen that movie before? That's not a good thing. So commercial real estate's in trouble, big time. And it is building and growing and getting worse. So the first losses that have been suffered by commercial real estate players were those who had equity in the game, skin in the game. The first 20% of losses of the value of commercial real estate is eaten up by the investors of the companies that took the loans out. That was their down payments. After that, you then get into the equity of the building that is now owned by bankers. And they'll go up to 8 to 10% loss before they get nervous, really, really nervous. They're already nervous, but I mean panicky nervous. So that's 25, 35%. After that, it's all bank losses, and it's all pension fund losses, mutual fund losses, ETF losses, the so-called solid safe investments that many of your 401ks fund, your IRAs fund. The millions of Americans and Canadians and Brits and Europeans and Asians who contribute money every month from their paycheck to their pension plans, where the employer matches and all that stuff, that those trillions of dollars, tens of trillions, a percentage of that money, a good chunk of it, is tied up in long-term bonds that are backed by commercial real estate. That's the problem. And yes, there are pension funds, very well run, smartly run pension funds, where the managers of the funds have never put more than 0.5% or more of their fund in any one investment. So if that one bond blows up, that was backed by real estate in New York or Pennsylvania or California or Europe or wherever, that doesn't even represent 0.5% of 1% of the entire pension fund. So it's not like our pension fund's going to blow up on that one deal. On top of that, though, the smart pension fund operators have not only taken positions in maybe 20 of these or 10 of these, whatever the number, they've insured them. They've bought insurance. And this is where AIG comes from. Does that ring a bell? AIG? This is where insurance outfits are created through the derivatives market to guarantee bond liquidity and bond values. And so the pension fund might have insurance on that $50 million piece of a bond they bought, or $100 million piece they bought. They might have insurance for up to half of it or 3/4 of it, or they're guaranteed their principal, but they won't get any interest after a certain date. As soon as the default is done, they don't get any more interest on that money. So that 50 million, no interest on it, no earnings on it, but they will get their 50 million back if they don't pay out in a year or a year and a half or 2 years. So they will suffer some losses, some loss of income from little pieces of their portfolio here and there, but they've got insurance. The question is, those providing the insurance who used to be in this business going, no one ever defaults on this stuff. Now we're looking at defaults all over the place. The Big Short might come to mind. There's a movie called The Big Short. You might want to look into that. And there might well be a tidal wave of insurance defaults all over the place. And who backs those guys? The big brokerage firms of Wall Street and Fleet Street in London and in Frankfurt and in Milan, Italy, and Tokyo and Shanghai. We're talking about the world's financial system backing up the world's financial system with all kinds of layers of products. And if there is a little domino effect of problems in the commercial real estate loan business that spreads to the insurance side of the business, this goes into a cascading nightmare. And what you end up have happening is investment bankers start to announce heavy losses and write-downs of assets on their books. And that creates a movement of capital away from shaky investment bankers to more stable investment bankers. Just that attitude, that thinking, that discussion over the water fountain is enough to create a catastrophic stampede of panic of people pulling their money out all over the place. That's what I'm talking about. The markets are down 194 on the Dow today, not because of what I just said, because what I've just told you has been ongoing for a while and will always be among us. This never goes away. Keep in mind and remember, the top people, the top men, all those top men, they had decades ago convinced the United States Senate and the United States Congress to make it illegal and not possible for the derivatives market to be monitored by any regulator in the United States. So the United States government is toothless, is completely helpless to oversee the derivatives market and regulate it, which means, by the way, if you've ever watched a movie about the financial crisis, where at the end of the movie, the Secretary of the Treasury and the head of the Federal Reserve back in the day called in the top 10 banks of the United States, or top 15, whatever that number was, and every CEO of those banks were brought into a room in I think it was New York, for a meeting with the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, and they were told, you are going to accept this deal from us. And the deal was that the United States government was lending them money from the United States taxpayer of $700 billion bucks, or whatever the billions were. It was hundreds of billions of dollars. They had to accept the money, pay 5% interest to the government of the United States for the money. And they were restricted from buying back their own stock on the open market. And that was a way to stabilize the U.S. banking business, because it showed the world that the U.S. government backstopped the largest 15 banks in the United States. This is fact, and you can watch HBO movies about it, Netflix, and all that. And it worked. It showed the world that J.P. Morgan's checks don't bounce, Bank of America's checks won't bounce, and the Goldman Sachs checks won't bounce. Some of them said, "We don't need the money. We don't need your money." And they said, "We know that. We know that some of you in this room don't need this money, but we're very well aware of the fact that some of you in this room do need this money, and you all know who those people are. And we're now going to make that all of you are so solid financially that none of you are going to need emergency cash right now, and all of you are going to financially survive going forward." The reason that worked was because regulators in the banking area regulate U.S. banks. And so these guys had a big brother behind them to protect them, which of course is one of the biggest complaints of average people, going, no one backs me up when I get in trouble, but these big boys get backed up. And they flew from those meetings in their private jets back to their head offices, or drove limos in downtown New York to another part of downtown New York. But in the derivatives business, where far more money is changing hands in a black hole of secrecy, there is no government agency to bail them out. And that is the problem that we might have to deal with going forward, where if there is a cascade of problems coming up from this commercial real estate area and others, and a whole bunch of institutions start to run low on cash because there's a run on their banking and their investment lines, there's no one agency to bail them out. There's no one place they can go for seeking assistance. They can only go to themselves, and they themselves will all they'll shut their vaults and hold on to their cash as long as they can. They don't want to give up any of it. They won't lend money to themselves. And when one bank won't lend money to another bank, or a bank will not lend money to, say, a bank will not lend McDonald's $1 billion today to make payroll the day after tomorrow, and will be repaid that money by next week from cash flows. so they can then make the next payroll in 2 weeks. When that stops, the whole system stops. And back in 07 and 08 and 09, McDonald's, General Electric, and other major employers of hundreds of thousands of Americans were in danger of not making payroll this Friday or this Thursday or next week because they couldn't find financing to finance their payroll line of credit. Just their line of credit. They couldn't access their line of credit. Banks were calling them and saying, we can't lend you $150 million today or tomorrow for your bankroll. You have to find $150 million somewhere else. And so the chairman, CEO of McDonald's and General Electric and other, who were they calling? The Federal Reserve and the Treasury, going, we can't borrow money for our payroll. What the hell's going on? The banks won't lend us money for our payroll. We're selling Happy Meals, the Big Mac meals selling just fine. There's a lineup here at lunch hour here in Cincinnati. People are wanting to buy their lunch. We got the burgers, we got the buns, we got the toppings, we're selling, but our payroll is one of those every 2 weeks we got to come up with a wad of money to pay the payroll. And then over the next 6-8 days, the dough keeps coming in from all the cash registers to cover it all. This is cash flow management 101. If the black hole of the derivatives market, which is, who knows, the estimates are hundreds of times larger than the regulated markets that we know of. If any of that were to start faltering and falling over in a domino effect, it'll overpower even the US Treasury. It's that ridiculous. The leverage of investment bankers and bond players, hedge fund operators, is so high that it is terrifying to regulators to even think about. No politician is going to talk to you about this. Trump ain't going to tell you about it. Biden isn't going to tell you about it. The Prime Minister of England isn't going to tell you about it. Not the central bankers of the European Union or the Federal Reserve or the Bank of Canada, or the Bank of England. No one is going to talk to you guys about this black hole of mystery that's just over here. It's there. And so we have to watch for that. The good news is, I have a happy ending for your story. Your option writers, I have to keep bringing that up. Most of you are here write options for a living now and are going to write options for a living because some of you are going to find that your employers are going to disappear. Some of you are going to find that your jobs are disappearing. You've already seen it. Some of you already had it happen to you and you couldn't believe it when it did. There are people out there who are getting layoff notices right now who are doing excellent work at their companies and are being told, we have to let you go. This is what's going on right now. And many people are becoming unemployed through no fault of their own. And some of you folks here are figuring out that you are smelling in the background something bad. There's a bad fish in the fridge. It's not looking good. You are in need of protection. The place you're going to protect yourselves the most, learning how to write options. You're going to look after your own assets that you're managing. And if you're managing $40 to $60 to $100,000 of your IRAs, your 401ks, you have cash on hand, investments on hand, you have other assets that you can borrow against or liquidate into turning into manageable assets. If you can get up to that $60,000 to $100,000 level, you should very easily be able to say goodbye to your day job because you can cash flow yourself into your own career or your own asset managing business where you don't have to commute anywhere. You're just using one of these, using your iPad, using your laptop, desktop machine. You're taking classes from yours truly. You're learning how options work. And you're figuring out, my God, I can write options on Apple. I don't have to own a damn share of this stuff. I can write options on the triple Qs and on the SPYs. I can do iron condor trading. I can do I can do credit spread trading on the market's direction higher or lower or both. And I don't need $1 million to do this. And I get to set the risk parameters of my trades. And there's the secret to life itself, because when you buy a stock, that you think is going to do well, and it does well, but it's a year longer than you thought. You need cash flow, baby, today. How am I going to get from here to a year from now before that company's stock really does what I want it to do, depending on what it is? What if you did buy Apple at 198? You didn't pay the high of 199, but you bought it at 198. It's now 187. Now what? Or it's 182 or whatever it's doing. Now what are you going to do? Well, you can at least write options on it if you bought 100 of them, sure. But what if you bought 60 shares of Apple through your employer, through your 401k? You can't do anything with those 60 shares. They're just sitting there, lame duck. You might be better off selling those 60 shares, buying a deep in the money call instead, and writing call options on that deep in the money call. Maybe that's a better move, especially with the stock having backed up. But you don't know how to do that unless you've been around here a while. This might be the safest place you can find yourself going down the road here a ways. Interest rates are not going to zero in this year. All right. It's not going to happen. Inflation is not going to zero because that's evident. It's already we're beginning to see the cracks in the inflation business. It's sort of bottomed out already, and we're now seeing little pops higher. This Red Sea business, this is only the tip of the iceberg of problems, real huge problems for the European economy, the China economy, and ultimately America as well. This is going to create supply chain inflation, which started back in the end of COVID, when we around the world were being told, oh, we're going to be opening up our economies again, things are going to get moving again. And all of a sudden we found that to bring a container ship from Hong Kong to Los Angeles was 5 times more expensive than it was a year earlier, for no good reason whatsoever other than greed, a lack of supply of container ships. And so the prices went sky high. And our friends at Costco and Walmart and Target, what did they do? They started buying up container ships and or leasing container ships for years, 4-year commitments, 5-year commitments, to guarantee their very own supply chain systems in their own corporations, which cost them a lot more money than to just order product from Shanghai to Los Angeles in the old days. We ended up paying for that across the board, and inflation soared everywhere. And so that's why you look at your price of milk or butter and eggs and you go, why are they higher? They're not from China. My bread and my eggs and my milk comes from the US here. Why should it be more expensive? Because it's not coming from a container ship from Orient to here. And welcome to the world of global inflation, where everything goes up in price, and you ain't seen nothing yet. We're not done with it yet. Kids, welcome to the happy place. If you've learned anything from this morning, congratulations. I hope I was able to explain it in a way that it's understandable. I'm excited for you guys. Option writing, baby. There's money in them there hills. Cash secured puts when they go down, covered calls or poor man covered calls or whatever, and or when the markets don't do much or they have a range, you go into credit spreads. And the good news about all of these strategies, these option strategies, is you're not locked in. You can always do rollovers. There's always a way to do another position, take another position. And stick around here and you'll learn how it's basically done. We have lots to watch, lots to follow. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for the thumbs ups today. Thank you for the kind words of support for Auntie Jen, letting us know you were thinking about her. She is doing great. We're just so happy that the day has come and gone. Finally, she has now 2 artificial hips instead of 1, and we're just thrilled that it's happened. Thank you all for just being part of this channel. Thank you for being subscribers. Thank you for being members of this channel, whether it's the Chillin' level or the Gold Bagel level, yes, tonight the plan is to do Primetime Live. The plan tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern is to be live on the air for Gold Bagel members at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Become a Gold Bagel member today, and you can not only join me tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern, but you can join us every morning before this show starts with the Trade Alert Show. And of course, if you are a Gold Bagel member, you can also have access to the reruns of all of the trade tips I've put out, Trade Alert shows, and Primetime Live shows. That gives you access to all of that as well. Thank you all again for your kind following of this channel and your support. It is very humbling, and we're just blown away. Thank you again. All right, we're going to go right now to member-only commentary on the channel. Please become a member today. Upgrade your membership to gold level. Join the majority of our followers. A majority of my members are now Gold Bagel level members. It is stunning to see it happen, and it's stunning for me to see the acceleration of this happening. It's really something. It was about a month ago that I noticed that my Chillin' members and my Gold Bagel members were becoming almost the same number, and all of a sudden the Gold level members surpassed the Chillin' members, and it continues. It just continues on, and the number of members, period, of this is growing. The whole number is growing, and thank you for that. I appreciate it. So the Gold Bagel Primetime Live show tonight will have more potential viewers because of it. And during that show tonight, you can ask me whatever you wish to about the markets, what's going on. The markets will be closed, so we'll be able to just chat about strategies and option strategies, and we'll do the best we can. So yes, we will be on tonight. Bobby Atkinson will be on the show tonight. Marie is here. Hi, Marie. Mike W is here. Welcome. Thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. Splair, crossing your fingers for a perfect recovery. So far, so good, my friend. We are looking forward to what's going on here. Splair, by the way, less than 2 minutes, Larry kicks in those thumbs up, so we're going to be up and running. Thank you, Splair, and thank you, everyone, for being here this morning, following us. I love it. Great to see you here. As I say, I think we've got there's some phenomenal opportunities for you guys available to you. You know, this GameStop shares, the GameStop shares are what, at 14 something. Many of you out there, you listen to me and you asked me, and I gave you my opinion as to what to do in the last 3 months on GameStop contracts. And I was almost begging you guys to write contracts for cash. And as the market went up, I asked you and told you that it would be a pretty good idea to do rollovers and roll into higher strikes further out, more money. And if the market backs off, the contracts will contract. You'll cash those and then rewrite lower strikes, bring in even more money. And a number of you have done it. A number of you do listen to me on this. Some of you don't. You listen to the advice, but you don't do it. I don't know why. But it's okay. It's up to you how you want to play this. But GameStop has been paying nicely to some of you guys who have listened to me on how to trade this stock. I don't know why it's at the 14 level. I can't control it there. It just is. Okay, I say, fine. You want to be at 1376 right now? Fine, be at 1376 right now. But I know that GameStop will fluctuate in value without a doubt, and we just have to tolerate it and find a way to score monies from the trading of these contracts, writing of these contracts. It's very doable. Let's take a look at some other stocks we're watching here. SoFi right now, 772. It's down 17 cents in the pre-market. We'll see if that holds once we open up. 772 last indicated trade. I don't know what the volume is today because it's not showing me on this one system, so I'm not sure what's going on. Retail sales jumped in December, showing strength of the American consumer, but that could be the end of the Christmas run. JP Morgan thinks that JetBlue has dodged a bullet after the judge blocked the acquisition of Spirit Airlines. Well, we'll see about that. I think for American consumers, it's a good thing. American consumers still have 7 airlines to choose from, more or less, although the Alaska-Hawaii airline deal is still hanging around out there. Will that happen or not? I don't know. Time will tell, because I can tell you that my hunch is that if Alaska and Hawaiian Airlines merge, airfares to Hawaii will jump dramatically in cost. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because with less competition, up go the prices. 80 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you. We're just opening here. Larry, thank you, my friend, for hitting the bells. We're up and we're running. Thank you, my friend, for that. Here we go. Hit the thumbs up button if you can for us, and add some momentum to the show. Welcome to the party, everybody. It's great to have you all here. Those of you out there who've been picking up classes the last several weeks, months, if any of you have any issues with the links to your classes, or you bought class number, whatever, and you want to watch it again and you can't find it, then let me know with an email. My email address is down below, and I will get you your link, and you can rewatch your classes all you like. All right. Thank you all for that. Again, thank you for those of you who are following this channel from around the world. It is really appreciated. Thank you very, very much. I have to tell you something, and I just want to mention something that happened last night. I had yesterday, actually it was yesterday afternoon, I had something happen here that I dream about from time to time. I received an email from an old friend, and I mean an old friend from many, many decades ago, because that's how old I am. This gentleman and I became pals when we were in our 20s. And we have stories. And he reached out to me by just letting me know, I stumbled across your channel by accident. I happened to be on YouTube, and you got referred to me. Who's this guy? Uncle Bruce. I know this guy. I didn't call him Uncle Bruce when I knew him, though. So he started watching my shows here. He found my travel channel. He found this channel, and he wrote me an email saying, "Hey, man, how you doing?" I was so happy. I cannot tell you what a wonderful feeling that is, to have someone contact you that you've known from way back at 40 plus years, and longer, actually 43 years. He says to me, you run a really good channel. You've got I like your show is really professional. And I thought, wow, it's just an old guy yapping. But hey, thank you, my friend, so much for reaching out to me. We will have a phone conversation in a few weeks. Once things settle down around here, we'll touch base with each other with a phone call. I tell you, there's no getting comments from you guys is great, because you're here every day with me, and I love that. Meeting you in person at these meet and greets, fabulous. It's absolutely wonderful. But getting these very occasional emails from people that I haven't seen in years, and it's wonderful. It's just wonderful. I am aware. I am aware, and I have been made aware by friends, coworkers, relatives that I've known, I'll say, well, does so and so know I do this, or does this person know I have a YouTube channel? And they go, yeah, we've talked about you. Yeah, we've talked about you. So I am aware that many of my former collaborators and whatever are aware of the fact that I am here, that I am on this platform. They don't watch me all the time. They rarely watch me, or they'll catch, once in a while, they'll just kind of click on what's he talking about. But it was one of the things that I had to get over when I started as a YouTuber. I had to get over that I'm going to be out there and people who know me are going to be sitting there going, really? And so you have to get over that because the criticism from a relative or a friend can be very biting. But hey, it is what it is. And so again, thank you, my friend, for reaching out. I do not know if my friend is watching this morning because I'm on pretty early. He might catch this on the rerun. I don't know, but I did reply with an email, and I was thrilled, just thrilled to get this. Richard Carlin, neat. It's right. It's time for the knee emojis right there. JR, them bells, dude. No, Alberto, there's only Zool. Thank you, Lair. Alberto, I'm here. I gave Uncle Bruce my blessing to start. SoFi, another downgrade by another analyst. Richard Carlin, happy days, get well, Auntie Jen. We're at 754 on your SoFi. Down 18 cents. The bargoons just get better and better and better. Writing cash secured puts. Boy, you couldn't have picked a better time. With 8 days to go before earnings, someone wants to downgrade this stock. 8 days before earnings come out? Really? Before the company announces their first ever corporate profit, as someone wants to downgrade the stock that close. That's interesting. Wonder why that would be. Why would someone do an analytic report, negative analytic report, just 8 days before the company reveals profits? I find that interesting. I hate analysts, says Richard. Rocket Lab initiated overweight at by KeyBank, $8 price target for Rocket Lab. Bobby, the cash provider, wrote on Instacart. BB was just triggered. Thanks, gamblers. Let's do it again real soon. JR, well, Mr. Sist is giving us a bargain opportunity. Flint Creek, good one. Richard, right on email list. Thank you. Richard, thank you for being a member here. 34 months. Happy days and get well, Auntie Jen. She's on her way. And thank you all for reaching out to us and letting her know you're thinking of her. She is well aware of that, and we thank you. The Dow's off 123, it looks like. We've got, let's see if I can get my phone to run up here properly. There we go. Thank you, one and all. We have 88 thumbs ups at the moment, trying to build that to 100 as quick as we can. Thank you for those of you who are hitting that thumbs up button for us. I appreciate it. 208 of you are here. That means there's 120 slackers right now in this channel that have not hit the thumbs up button. Strickland is on the prowl. He's in the hallway. He has the pink slips. I've warned you. Don't get caught by Strickland. He never had hair. We're down 130 on the Dow. We're down 35 on S&P. We're down 180 on NASDAQ. Oil down at $1.34 right now. Welcome to the program and welcome to the party, everybody. It's great to see you all here. Rocket Lab, $4.90 a share. Down 3 cents. AI down 81 at 24.25. Opportunity knocks. There might be some deep in the money calls that might be a bargain on AI that you can now write some nice contracts against. Something to investigate. Spider's down 320. Q's down 460. GameStop is off just a nickel at 13.92. SoFi is 742, down 30 cents. The low of the day, 740 on 4.4 million in 9 minutes. We'll watch that, of course. We've got Apple down 297 to 180.66. Enphase down 279. Netflix is up 46 pennies. Adobe is down 780. Nvidia is down 779. Tesla's down 580 to 214. Matterport down 6.5 cents. Spire down 25 cents. SmartRent up 3. Owens Corning down 61. ATIP up 6. Unity down 141. Google is negative 197. Moderna down 128. Cisco down 47. Pfizer down 9. IBM down 50. HPQ down 29 cents. Microsoft down 3.99. ME is up a penny, maybe at 67.5 cents. Amazon down $2. Home Depot down 38 cents. Vanek Vectors down 273. Goldman Sachs down 83 cents. Boeing is up 430 at 204. Meta, the Facebook shares down 388. Target down 126. JP Morgan down 49 cents. Costco down 74. Walmart down 18 cents. Disney's up 34 at 93.39. American Airlines down 4 cents. AMC is down 6 cents to 4.14, almost 4.15 a share. DraftKings up 6 cents. Royal Caribbean down a dime. That is where we're at the moment on the opening 5-10 minutes. We'll see how this plays itself out. Richard, I hate analysts. All right. Geo Designer, thank you for this donation. I'm not sure what currency this is. Hey, Uncle Bruce, long time no see. Any thoughts on 23andMe? I'm curious about why the performance is low while the company is solid and interesting. Yeah, I know the only news that I've lately followed kind of is that they had a data breach, 3 months ago? It's a while ago. And they've been dealing with it, and it affected less than 0.5% of their people. Anyway, they're dealing with that. That didn't help. The company signed a new deal with GlaxoSmithKline, I think it is, for another licensing deal to allow Glaxo to have access to their DNA files to develop more drugs. I'm a fan of the company, like the ME, 23andMe, the whole entity, the whole thing. I'm a fan of it. But it is a long-term, it will be a long-term business for a long, long time. It will eventually become a company that lives off of its royalties from drug creation. That's where I think their future lies. They will generate revenue from drugs created from their DNA database, which is the largest on the planet Earth. And I feel that years and years and years and years and years, decades, this company will earn royalties forever from more and more and more and more drugs. The problem and the reality is it's 2024, and it's not 2034. It's not 2026. It's 2024, and it's January the 17th, 2024, and the stock is 67 odd cents a share. Now, the bad news, that's where it is. The good news, that's where it is. It's only 67 cents a share. And I know they've done a rollback, and I know the shares are cheap, they haven't done a rollback. The shares are cheap at 67. They might do a rollback. I've been under the impression, I've had the vibe that there will be a run on the stock to break the dollar barrier before they have to do a rollback, but I can't guarantee it. I'm not in any position to guarantee that, and I have no inside contacts with the corporation, none of these. I'm just an outside guy looking in going, I like the business, I like their game plan, but boy, I hate the value. I hate the performance of the stock. I hate it. I freaking hate it. I would rather you guys have a $25 stock that you can write options on, but that's not what this is. The company is at a place that the stock chart looks awful, but the company itself is solid. They've got cash in the bank. I don't think they have any debt. And I think they have access to more cash if they would need it. But they are, in reality, I think, the stock is a breakout away where it could really run from one successful drug approval of the probably hundreds that are in the pipeline. I'm sure of it. There are probably hundreds of them in the pipeline, all top secret, can't be disclosed. You can't tip your hat to the competition. It's one of those scenarios where you just gotta fold your arms and go, well, I'm just going to wait them out. And I'm going to wait them out to make an announcement that they've got they're getting approval from the FDA or whatever it is to launch a new drug on this or this or this. I'm just thinking that eventually every quarter they will come out with another announcement of another drug and another drug, and because of the years and years and years of access to their DNA database that they have made to a number of drug companies, it's only a matter of time where eventually a handful of drugs out of the hundreds will start being approved, and just one will show the market, oh my God, these guys could make billions of dollars in royalties forever on the sale of this drug. Forever. I hadn't thought of that. And the first 10 years, it's patent protected. And then after that, you've got ongoing royalties. 10 years from now, there could be 20 of these drugs going. And I don't know which one, who, what, when, where. If I had the answers, you would have the answers. That's my opinion on it. Am I happy? I'm always happy, but am I thrilled where it is? No, I'm not. But it is a bargain. But you better be prepared to wait it out. It's cheap, though. Got to say, a couple $100 in this thing might turn into a few thousand, but I don't know. Hector, I feel the need to again compliment you. In mid-December, I asked you what the Jan 24 markets would bring. You said, I expect a slow bleed of prices. Nailed it. There you go. Thank you for that. I get reminded, for every reminder I get 10 that say, you said to buy this stock at this time and it would do really well, and it didn't. And I have to gently remind people that back in 2021, when people were begging me to give them stocks to buy. What should I buy? What should I buy? And I was suggesting in those days, here are some really big companies I like. And here's some small ones I like. And some of these are SPACs. Most of them are SPACs. I like these companies, but the kind of money you put into these is the kind of money you might be without for a while. But people forget that part of the recommendation. They come and say, you said I should buy SmartRent, I should buy Matterport, Rocket Lab, SoFi, 23andMe, ATIP. I don't shy away from them. I still like these companies. I don't like the stocks where some of them are, of course, but I like them. And I'll be following them for years and years and years and years and years, because that's how you do it. But again, I understand there are people out there, and were people out there in 2021 when they started following me way back when, who said they were long-term investors. And what they meant by that was, I've got 6 months, no problem. I'll wait it out for 6 months. And I wasn't talking 6 months. I don't like talking about companies 4 years later that haven't moved yet. I don't like it. Believe me, I'm not like a fan of that kind of stuff, but I'm a realist, and we've seen a lot of changes in the markets in the last 3-4 years, of which some we could not have imagined. Interest rates from 0 to 5.5% in like a year. Didn't think about that. None of us here were talking in 2021 that inflation would go from 0 to 10, 12% in a year, and now back into the 3-4 range. No one was talking about that. Analysts who were asked in 2021, 2022 what the future of the markets were all wrong. They were all wrong. But since I'm on the air and I'm still here, I'm an easy target to shoot at and say, you said back in 2021. And I can say that many others who said what they said in 2021 aren't here anymore. You can't point to them and go, where did that guy go? There's like 5 other guys I want to talk to about what they said, and they're not on the air anymore. They've already left. I'm one of the last few standing, but standing I am. Thank you. JR, set some super stinkers for 736 for another 1,000 SoFi. Down, baby, down. The lowest trade, 738. You're close. You may well get them at 744 right now. You never know. Another little wave of selling, and boom, you'll get it. Alberto, facts, scoop it up. Nice work, JR. Robert Benson, number 101 on your thumbs up meter. Thank you. Let's go to 200 thumbs up, says Robert Benson. Thank you, Robert. Splitter, I think I buy today back one of my 2 SoFi calls. One is at 56% gain. The other one's at 27. Nice going. JR, reset my stinkers to 741. They just hit. Woohoo! There you go. Well done. Dude, Geo Designer 23andMe needs to bring in revenue. Rocket Lab and SoFi, best performing Uncle Bruce SPACs. The interest rates changed everything. Splair, thinking same here, and it was obvious that we dropped before earnings somehow, like always. There you go. We're at 744. JR got some more cheap SoFi shares. I recommend out there, yeah, if you're asking me, what should you do? Buy this stock. Just buy the paper. Just buy the paper. You can write cash secured puts. Yes. You can write cash secured puts. Absolutely. And down here, yeah, I would say so. Because between now and 8 trading days from now, the results come out. And I don't think we're going to 4. I don't think so. No, I don't. No, I don't think so. There you go. Welcome to the party, everybody. And it's nice to have you here. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Auntie Jen is doing very well, and she thanks you. We are now on the recovery track for Auntie Jen. We're now on the recovery track for Auntie Jen. Thank you for the thumbs up. So we now have a total of 106. There are approximately 197 of you watching. So 91 of you are officially likely slackers. And there could be more of you because I know we have turnover of audience as people watch me from home and then they listen to me in their car and then they get to me at work and then they're walking to work and others are just waking up. And there are a whole bunch of thumbs uppers out there who could be hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you, those who are doing it. I love you for it. Don't forget tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern time for Gold Bagel members live, 7 o'clock Eastern, primetime live with Uncle Bruce for Gold Bagel members. I look forward to seeing you, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on with Jen and everything else. Giddy up, everybody. Thank you, and thank you. Hector, Uncle Bruce, I find your abilities to construct logical interpretations of inflationary market conditions is turning into wise advice. Paying attention with Gold Bagel breath. There you go. Thank you, my friend. Who cares says, okay, I hit the like button. Okay, number 99. Smile it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. And all of you who've hit the button, thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. I know most of you just hit the like button without me even mentioning it, which I do appreciate. But I have to bring it up. I really do, especially for the noobs. If you're a newbie, and you're kind of watching the show and you're going, why does this guy give a crap about thumbs ups? Like, what's the big freaking deal? If you notice, if you actually watch real YouTubers, and I'm not talking about the YouTube videos made by AI software and you listening to a computer voice telling you about something. You actually watch a real person talking to you. What do they ask you for? Please subscribe and please hit the thumbs up button. It's what we are told to beg for, and we do, and we need it, and it works. It works. It brings more viewers into the channel, and that's what we need to do. We need to grow our channels. Otherwise, YouTube dumps us off and just sloughs off into analytical hell, and we get nowhere. Hitting that thumbs up button keeps us relevant in the YouTube analytics. That's what it's all about. And it's not a matter of how many viewers there are. It's a matter of the ratio between how many thumbs ups you get and how many people are watching. That is a big deal for YouTube, a huge deal. And that's why I thank you so often for doing the thumbs up thing, because the ratio that we have here is one of the highest in YouTube as far as how many people watch versus how many thumbs ups we actually get. 118 and counting. Fabulous. Man, I love it. We hit 200 every day. That would be just blisteringly good. Thank you. All right. Splair, buy the stonk. Wait for the peak. Write a call. $1 or $2 below the stonk price. Enjoy a drop till the next time before earnings. 150 for sure possible and repeat. Don't spend all the premium, by the way. There you go, Splitters. Splitters learned a lot in the last 2 years. Way to go, Splitter. Thank you, folks out there making money writing options. Congratulations to you guys. Writing options, covered calls, poor man covered calls, cash secured puts, buying deep in the money calls, doing credit spread trades. You're doing what institutions are doing in a micro way, right from the comfort of your living room, your cubicle, wherever you are. Well done, nicely done. Keep up the good work. We're down 112 on the Dow. Nothing terrible going on here. There's nothing bad happening. It's just 112 points. Big deal. Let's see what we've got on the other indexes here. 747 now on SoFi, by the way. The low of the day, 738. So we bounced up 9 cents. We're down 35 on the S&P as far as I can see. That's up 3/4 of a point, which is more than the Dow. The Dow's off 1/4 of a point. This is off 3/4. The NASDAQ is down 1.5%, 1.4 actually. 200-point drop on NASDAQ. That's why the Qs are off 593 this morning. The Qs. The spiders are down 360 at 471. The Qs are at 403.60. We've got Magnificent Seven weakness, I'm sure, causing it. Apple down 247. Nvidia down 1278, Tesla down 576. There's another Magnificent Seven stock under pressure. Google down 296. Who else? Isn't there more? Yes, there are others. I will find them. Microsoft down 473. Amazon down 275. Facebook down 552. So the Magnificent Seven are all lower. They're all lower, and so down goes NASDAQ, down goes S&P, and down goes the Dow to a degree. The Dow, of course, is supported with dividend-paying stocks. And I was saying on the alert show for Gold Bagel members here, if you were here this morning, I talked about IBM and compared IBM's performance to the performance of any of the Magnificent Seven pretty well. None of the Magnificent Seven pay a 4% yield on a dividend payout. And so you're going to get volatility. You're going to get much more volatility than on IBM. Interestingly, IBM right now is off 33 cents at 166.63. The 52-week high for IBM, 167.51. Yeah, we're right there. It's a 3.98% yield. You buy IBM stock, you get basically a 4% dividend, 1% every 3 months on your money. There's a lot of pension funds out there happy to take that and the upside of the stock, obviously. Now, if interest rates go lower in the next year, not the next week, the next year, then IBM will go to 170, 180. It'll go higher because the dividend increases keep coming from IBM. They're a cash cow. And so they will keep yielding 3.9 or 4%. And the stock will rise. If rates drop, that's how it goes. The Dow, you can't say that for the rest of the Dow Jones. You certainly can't say that for NASDAQ 100. That is not a dividend index. NASDAQ 100 is growth. It's all about AI. And it's all about cutting edge chip technology and all kinds of other stuff. That's the difference. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We've got the U.S. 10-year Treasury, by the way, now offering 4.12% yield. We were down to 3.7% on the 10-year note a month ago. The thinking was, oh, slam dunk, 3-6 interest rate cuts coming. We're going back to 2% interest rates. Oh, hallelujah. Now that's not so likely. And so we've risen from 3.7 to 4.1. In interest rates on the 10-year. So the bond market is already telling you, if you pay attention to it, yeah, maybe not 6 interest rate cuts. 3, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm saying none. I'm saying no interest rate cuts for 2024. None. We'll see about that. That could move this back to 4.5. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know. We'll see. Having just talked about IBM, that could bring IBM down to 155 a share. Possible. Or if IBM raises their dividend enough, their yield will be 4.1%, 4.15%, and the stock won't go down. I can think about that. The US dollar was rising. Definitely the euro is down to 108.5. The euro was at 108.8, 109, just 112 a month ago. So we backed off on the euro. The British sterling pound, 126.40. That's down from the 127, 129 range the last little while. And the Canadian dollar has given up some ground too. It is almost 75 cents a share, 75 cents on the US dollar. Canadian dollar almost hit 75. It's now back to 73 something, 73.56, something like that. So Canadian dollar has dropped off a little bit in the last little while. Okay, 747 on your SoFi. The low of 738 today has been seen. The volume on SoFi, 8.3 million in 30 minutes. Not heavy, typical kind of. GameStop is 1376. The low trade 1371, 698,000 traded. We're all waiting for Mr. Cohen to make his first move. And you know what? Mr. Cohen, having not made a move that we are aware of, is actually a smart thing. He's sitting on 1.2 billion in cash that he can invest in whatever he wants. GameStop's money. I think he would be wise, in my humble opinion, to go after SoFi shares. I think that would be a very smart move. Now that they're at 740, even better. But I don't know what his intentions are, so we'll have to wait and see what he says. Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Debbie Bonner, I'm so glad you got over it for all the good things you're doing with your knowledge. Well, thank you, Debbie, very much. Alberto, geez, these Tesla cover calls, boom, the credit taking them for all, giving them nothing. Beautiful, Alberto. Kaiser, I'm still waiting to sell cover calls on SoFi, which I had written 10s 2 weeks ago. Splair, I was regretting it, not doing it during the summer run, so I've been a little more aggressive, but I took time, 3-4 months. JR, Mr. Sis just helped me buy more SoFi. He knew I wanted some more. So thank you very much. Right on, JR. Well done, my friend. All of you out there picking up SoFi down here. Yeah, I like the idea of doing this. Take this stock and enjoy it. Put it in your portfolio. Write cash secured puts. Write 8s, 9s, 10s, Junes, Julys, further into the fall. January 2025. So write cash secured puts on SoFi. Take the money. Some nice returns being offered here. The stock pops to 8.5, 9.5. You're already laughing on these things. You'll be up over 50% on the premiums, just like that. You don't need the stock to go to 15. You know, a couple $1 move, and you're already going to roll your cash secured puts. You're going to go from 8s to 10s, 9s to 10s or 12s. Hello, there's a money train here getting ready to leave the station. I think so. Farmless Uncle Bruce, can the executives like Cohen write covered calls on his shares, or is he prohibited? I don't think they can write covered calls under SEC disclosure rules. They may have to do. They may have to tell the street they're doing that. I'm not sure if they can. Now, if GameStop, through Mr. Cohen, were to buy up a bunch of shares of SoFi, GameStop could write covered calls on SoFi because it's an investment. They would declare that and, bring in this extra cash. They could certainly do that if they wanted to. Or I guess it is possible, as I'm speaking to you, that GameStop could be using its capital to write cash secured puts on SoFi. That could be happening. They could be writing 10s and 12s for 2025, 2026. They could be doing that. I don't know if they are, though, but they could. JR, Uncle Bruce, I followed your advice on how to close iron condors. I closed out the put side of my SPX iron condor when they had about 50 cents left. Then my stinkers hit today on the call side at 80%. Giddy up, baby. That pays for lessons. That pays for one-on-ones. And that makes it easier to make donations. I mean, how great is this? Way to go, JR. Way to go. Pays for airfare from LA to Jersey to catch up on 101s. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Savage of Wall Street is in the house. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Hello, Uncle Bruce. I hope things went well with Auntie Jen. They did. Sending best wishes here from Casa Savage. Thank you, my friend. Everything went very well yesterday. Jen is doing very well. She's here. She's resting. The meds are doing what they do. She is up and about when it's time to go to the bathroom. She's back, baby. And now it's recovery time. Tomorrow she goes to the hospital for her first physical therapy session. That just blows my mind. Less than 48 hours after the operation, therapy. Wow. Just wow. That's awesome. So yeah, she's coming along just great. And she's so happy. She's just thrilled. Yesterday I was getting phone calls from her nurse that was tending to her in the intensive care area. And I would get updates every half hour, 45 minutes. And the two of them are talking to each other while they're talking to me. And I can hear Jen laughing in the background, just having a great old time, just laughing, yucking it up. So I knew it was pretty good. Very good. Luca, hi, Uncle Bruce. I haven't followed you much lately as I've been busy. Please send my love to Auntie Jen. You got it, buddy. Not a problem. Nice to have you with us today. JR, I'm also a bag holder with ME, says JR. I hang on to it since I don't have a lot of cash invested, but I'm looking out there will be an RSS sometime soon. There you go. Savage of Wall Street also just rolled in 5AI January 2025, $35 strikes to the same date, but $30 strikes. And I took in an extra $1.15. Not the greatest return. But I'm buying back and selling another covered call lower would have been the same money. So there you go. Bringing in some more cash. Thank you. Thank you. Always good moves. Sparrow Bruce, are you giving ideas for Cohen in case he's watching on the rerun? Yes, I'm giving him direct ideas, and he's welcome to contact me anytime for a chat. More than happy to talk to him. Bobby Atkinson, MEDNA data cannot be ignored. If they can't make it work, somebody else will buy it and try. And that's the thinking too, Bobby. I wouldn't be surprised that this stock is worth $5 to $10 a share just on their DNA library, just that alone. The market doesn't reflect any of this, of course, but that's my personal opinion. The value of this DNA, they're going to be paid royalties and rent. They get to charge rent, like a monthly fee for drug companies for access to this DNA. It's a money generator. It's just going to be a money generator. The street does not recognize it and reward the company yet, but the day will come and the finances will be there. The cash flow will come. It's only a matter of time, but that's the problem. Time. How much time? I can't answer that question. So yeah, this is the kind of stock you buy 1,000 shares every once in a while for 600 odd bucks. Put it away. Buy another 1,000 shares here and there. Put it away. Just put it away. Goes to $3, $4, you're laughing. Goes to 10, 12, you're screaming. But hey, just nibble away at it. That's the way I would look at it. Anyway, we're down 36 on the Dow. We've come back a ways. We're still down 31 though on S&P. That's 2/3 of a percentage point. The Dow's only down 1/8%. And Nasdaq's still down 195 points, 1.3%. Oil at 71.23, down 117. We're not going anywhere on oil. We're not going higher. We're probably going lower. That's my take on it. Here's an interesting comment. I like this comment. This little headline. Just give me a second here. I'm reloading my machine right now. How would you like this? How would you like to have a federal law that says overdraft fees would shrink to $3 under the Biden administration proposal? I like that rule. How many Americans are getting soaked? Is it $30 to $45 per overdraft charge? How many Americans have been nailed that since 2000, 2003, 20 years? Of these kinds of fees. It's just outrageous. I remember there was one time I had This is back in 2002 or three, maybe four. I once had a Bank of America account down here, and I'd had it. How's this going? I was transferring funds into the account, and several $1,000s were coming in. And I was using my debit card. I used at Costco for gas, and I bought some groceries. I went to Albertsons, paid a phone bill, and 2 or 3 days later, I'm just looking at the account, and I noticed $35, $35, $35, $35, $35. And I'm going, wait a minute, go back, go back, go back. There's a deposit there of thousands of dollars, positive balance. And now these hits. So I didn't even bother phoning the 800 number. I got off my fat butt and I drove to, at that time, a local Bank of America branch. No longer there, by the way. Interestingly, it was a brand new building, brand new branch from scratch. Anyway, went in there, sat down with an account executive, and I said, would you mind helping me out? I'm lost here. I don't understand. Something's not clicking with me. Can you help me figure this out? So he's looking at my account and he's going, what? And he's shaking his head and he's going, he eliminated every $35 charge against my account because the bank wasn't processing the deposit the same day it came in. They wanted to delay it from a Friday to a Monday. And by the time they accepted the money officially in their systems, I had rung up 8 purchases on my debit card. It wasn't a credit card, debit card. And they were attempting to nail me $270, $280. He reversed all those charges. He said, that's all back in your account. He says, and I apologize for that. That shouldn't be happening. But he says, our systems are so skewed to these charges. He says, you wouldn't believe how many people don't even recognize this is happening to them. They come in months later and find out what? Yeah, well, this $3 charge thing, that would be interesting. That would be huge for Americans and anyone else. Anyway, there you go. Interesting stuff. Okay, what else? Savage of Wall Street. Oh, yesterday my procedure went well. The doctor, however, went in with the finger of injustice to lube up before the pain medication was administered. I yelled, and he was like, "No pain med? No." I think you were getting kidney stone repaired, that's why you were there? A Savage of Wall Street, dude. Brian, number 133. Good morning, everybody. I hope everything went well for you. It looks like it did. So congratulations. But oh man, that can't be fun. It just can't be fun. Unbelievable. For Jen, she said that she remembered last year when they administered for her the anesthetic. So she knew this year that as soon as I kind of lean forward, I'll feel a little pinch in my spine area. After that, I don't wake up until I'm in recovery. Same thing yesterday. She said, I lean forward and this one guy was holding me and he says, oh, yeah, just relax. And she said, the next thing I knew, I was in recovery. Out like a light with a brand new hip. How about that? And so, yeah, we are thrilled that Jen now has 2 brand new hips, and now it's recovery time. Yes, Savage of Wall Street, Alberto, damn right. Give them nothing. Give them nothing, Alberto. Nothing. Take everything from them. Give them nothing. Right on, buddy. We're up 3 cents on Rocket Lab. We're up to 497 on Rocket Lab, +3 this morning. It's turned around. The low on Rocket Lab was 485.5. We're now at 497. We've already touched $5. 1.6 million traded. They got a bull rating from KeyBank on their stock. So they were upgraded, I think, to $8 a share by KeyBank and analysts there. AI down 49 cents at 24.57. The low on your AI today, 24.15. We're now 42 cents higher, still down 49, but the highs of the day are now being met here. 1.4 million on AI. So there's improvement there. Spider's still down 289. Qs are down 522 today. Those of you into iron condors on those, or credit spreads, you're smiling, I am sure. GameStop is only down 10 cents. GameStop is at 1388. The low 1371. We're at 1388 on 800,000. So we're climbing a little there. SoFi 748 down 24 cents. The low of the session for SoFi 738. We're now 748. 10.3 million. There might be a little bounce up there. We could be higher at the end of the day for SoFi and GameStop and Rocket Lab. We could be. Apple down $1.82. That is not a serious sell-off. We got that 180.30. We're now at 181.81. So there's a recovery on Apple happening now. Enphase still down 269. Netflix down 341. Adobe down $12. Nvidia is 553 now. The low is 547. A $6 bounce back, but the high yesterday, 568. So we're 15 away from the high yesterday, the all-time high. And we're down 1070 at the moment. Okay. Nvidia, Tesla down 586 at 214. The low of the session 212. We're at 214 right now. That is what's going on there. What else happening here? SmartRent is up 16 cents. SmartRent is at 286, up 16 here on a power move all morning. It started at 266. Went right away to the 270 level, 275, 280, now 286, up 16 cents on SmartRent on 1.39 million. I have no news that I can see, but I know that this company will be a huge winner, but it's ignored by the most of Wall Street. No doubt about it. SmartRent, 286, bargain. Okay, moving on. Matterport down 3 cents. ATIP is up 9. Unity down 140. Google down 260. Moderna down 298. Cisco down 62. Pfizer down 7 cents. IBM down 44. HBQ down 28 cents. Microsoft is off 370. The ME is 65.6 cents a share. Amazon down $2. Home Depot down 82 cents. Vanik Semiconductors down $3. Goldman down 98 cents. Boeing is up $4. Been holding for almost all morning. Meta down 4.75. Target down 77. JP Morgan up 5 cents. Turned green. Costco down 170. Walmart down 58 cents. Disney down 137 at 91.68. We got American Airlines down 2 cents. AMC is 4.20 and a half a penny lower. DraftKings up $1.03 and Royal Caribbean up 33 cents to 123 right now. There you go. 82 on the Dow, a little pullback happening. S&P down 33, NASDAQ down 189. So the Dow is down 1/5 of a percentage point, approaching 1/4 of a point. S&P down 0.70, NASDAQ down 1.2. And we've got oil down $1.30 a barrel at 71.09. Giddy up, everybody. That's what we're showing. 749 on the SoFi after dropping at 738. Okay. What else? Let's see. Beach Boy, Savage, the finger of injustice, laughing out loud. Well, at least it wasn't the complete scales. Savage of Wall Street. Numbers. I was seeing everything and listening to everything, and these guys forgot to open up the anesthesia IV. I should sue, laugh out loud. Nah, just general colonoscopy. Uncle Bruce, they're checking under the hood. Oh, that's what it was. All righty, I got you. Okay, someone was getting kidney stones looked after yesterday. I forgot who that was. Beach Boy Savage, a little too much info. PG channel here. Alberto, Uncle Bruce, I stopped using a bank as a savings account. My new savings accounts include my grandchildren. They are my trading platforms, 4% yearly via banks or 60% returns yearly writing. No brainer. I think I'll take the 60%, Bruce. BW, good morning, Uncle Bruce. Way behind and just mentioned the Alaska-Hawaiian merger, higher flight prices. Who cares when you know options? I want to whine and complain and learn something new that changes the odds. Rock and roll. Just Savage of Wall Street, Uncle Bruce, I sold 50 Matterport $3 covered calls in November. for 35 cents expiring in April. Those are 8 cents today. I put in stink bids to buy back at 5, a nice $1,250 return for me. Thank you. May I have another? How about that? Very interesting. JR, the savage of Wall Street. Hey, bud, just the threat of lawsuit might get you some more money to buy more SoFi and write more options. That might be worth the pain right there. Bobby didn't ask for a happy ending. What's the deal here? Hey, oh, man. We're down 88 on the Dow to get back to the PG part of the show. We're up 5 on Rocket Lab now. It looks like at 4.99 almost. Trying to get back to $5. Way to go, Rocket Lab. All righty. GameStop down a dime. SoFi down 25 cents. Welcome to the party, pals. I'm glad you're all here. Thank you also to those of you who have been hitting the thumbs up button for us. We're now at a number of 135. We have 135 thumbs ups. Thank you, guys. If any of you can hit the thumbs up button right now, please do that for me. We're going to do something here we do as often as possible. It's absolutely necessary. We must honor the Knights of Neat. Absolutely. The Knights of Neat must be honored. Otherwise, we're just kidding ourselves. We don't be fooling ourselves here. We must make sure the Knights of Neat are happy with what's going on here. Neat. JR is doing it. Hitting the Knights of Neat emojis. Thank you all, those of you who are here saying hi to us. DH Ruta knows. Neat. So does Splair. Dave Duff. I'm number 136, big fella. Thank you, Dave, for hitting the thumbs up for me. I appreciate it. Everyone else who's doing it, let me know you're doing that. Tell me what number you are. Big E. Neat. Splair. Neat. Lots of knee emojis coming in here. The Knights of Neat must be acknowledged and respected. Richard Carlin knows what we're talking about. Neat. There they are. Around the world, the Knights of Knee are seeing the knee emojis popping up on this channel. No other channel does this. And that makes all other YouTube channels losers. Dean, neat. Spy C Android, neat. Little do they know that if only they were to honor the Knights of Knee, their stocks would do better and their viewers would make more money. But they don't know. They don't believe in the Knights of Knee. And so they will pay the ultimate price. Terrible price of a lack of returns. What can I say? Well done, everyone. Neat. Here they go. They're coming out. John Anderson, neat. That's right. They're coming from everywhere. From North America, from Great Britain, from Europe, from Asia, from the Middle East, from Latin America, the US of A. The neat emojis are coming out to attack and to preserve our returns. I can only say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all very, very much. Happy times here. Auntie Jen's doing great. We're popping the celebrations, although Jen can't drink for a while. But it's all good. We're very happy, and we're coming around. Thank you all for joining the channel. Lame Duck, neat. There you go. The thumbs up meter, it's climbing. Thank you, everybody. 138 now. Keep them coming out there, kids. Hit those thumbs ups for me. Thank you. All right, everyone. Thank you. Nice to have you through here. Deborah, thank you, Deborah. You're awesome. You're absolutely wonderful. Donation on PayPal. You're great. Make money, kids. Get richer, and take the gifts being handed to you here by these option writers. It's unbelievable. Option writers are just handing money over to you guys left, right, and center. You gotta take it from them, because if you don't take it, the guys with the private jets will, and they'll just say, "Hey, thanks, man. I know you could have had that money, but I thank you because I'm up here at 45,000 feet in a lap of luxury, and it's just great up here. Thank you, all you saps down there who are just buying call options and put options. We up here in the upper suites, so we thank you very much. Join those guys. And take some pounds of flesh yourself, folks. You deserve it. Thank you, Lame Duck, Savage, Hector, John Anderson. Look at the knee emojis. Splair, here they go. Dean and others, thank you all for nailing the neat emojis, hitting the thumbs up button, and getting richer from the options market. It's just a gift that keeps on giving. $13.90 on GameStop. We're going back to 14. We're only down 8 cents. It's coming back. SoFi 746. Got to wait for a big turnaround there. It could happen at any time. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, baby. Welcome to the party, kids. We're down 80 on the Dow, 35 lower, 36 lower on S&P. NASDAQ down 195. Oil down 117 to 71.23 a barrel. Down goes the price of oil. The Savage of Wall Street, don't give them anything, but take from them everything. Read my avatar, Uncle Bruce. Give the gamblers nothing, but take from them everything. There it is. Giddy up, buddy. Savage of Wall Street. It's our war cry, you know. JR, one of the cool things about writing Iron Condors is that the calls and puts tend to balance out the swings in my account. I like that. And see, this is the thing that Iron Condor creators around here figure out. Boy, you know, if you can write 20 condors on Qs or SPYs, SPXs, Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, whatever condors you want to write with wide spreads. Boy, yeah, you see some of them going up and down and up and down. But one thing you notice as time goes by, shrinkage, it's relentless. And a great way to study shrinkage is when you've written contracts and you are watching the shrinkage yourself. That's when you see it happening in real time, in real life. And you're noticing that, you know, you wrote a condor with a 250 credit spread or whatever the balance was, and you're watching that shrink out too, and you're just counting the dollars coming your way. And if you can do 20 condors with $10 spreads or $5 spreads, or you can do more, you are watching thousands of dollars go your direction. It really can go that direction. And the best thing about condors, of course, is when you create a credit spread on a put contract, you create a credit spread on a call contract separately at different times. It's a condor. At the end of the day, you're sitting on a condor, but you're not in one position. You don't have to undo a condor completely. You only undo the call or put side when it suits you to do so. And it might be that you close out a put position and then establish another put position, different dates, different expiry time. You're not stuck to the calls. You can create a new credit spread, put credit spread, or a call credit spread at your luxury at the price you want. In other words, you're thinking, yeah, I can buy back these puts or these calls where I had a $1.80 credit and now the credit is 70 cents. I can close that one out, and I can now write a new credit spread on those contracts a month further out, 2 months further out, and bring in $1.80 times 20, $3,600. Now I'm going to fold my arms and watch the other side. And depending on how the market reacts, up or down, you're just sitting there going, hey, the market's going to one direction or another. I will have to make a move on my contracts. 2 of them are going to be worth nothing, and 2 of them might have accelerated. That means a rollover. That is a recreation of a new set of puts or calls to bring in a bigger credit, which then allows me to do the rollover of the puts or the calls that are left over if and when I want to do it. Total flexibility, total control, and you call the shot. I like it. Rollo, neat. Brian, Uncle Bruce, did you talk about the article about SoFi as a strong sell? FUD article, of course. They really want people to sell the stock. It just blows my mind that there are actually analysts out there who would recommend to make a move on a company like SoFi in a negative way 8 trading days away from their earnings, which are going to show a profit, which is going to talk about the future of the company, which is positive in my opinion. I mean, in my humble opinion, I'm blown away. I'm blown away by it. But again, you know what? There are no SEC rules that say you can't do that. There's no analyst. There's no SEC enforcement officer coming after an analyst making an opinionated call on anything. Again, I have an opinion on SoFi. You have one. And we're free to decide for ourselves what we do. But it does blow my mind that there are people selling at 744 right now. There's actually trading at here at this price. 8 days, 8 trading days away. Unbelievable. But this is how easy it is to make money in this market. If you understand the market, if you want to take 17 classes and really get a handle on what's going on here, they're waiting for you. I'm amazed how many people don't take them. And I'm amazed at how many people have been here over the last 3 years. How many thousands of viewers I've had come and go, and how many times these classes I've created could have been watched by people who need all the help they can get, frankly, and they choose not to do so. And this is life. This is the normal world in which we're in. A slice of you out there will not allow yourselves to miss out on this absolute opportunity to score a lovely return on your investment and your time, to be paid so well for your time to learn how this is done and then to trade it for the rest of your life. You think about it this way. You take one of my classes for $150, and every year you watch it for the next 10 years. You watch it once a year just to remind yourself about, what I talked about in lesson 1, 7, 9, 15, whatever. I'm long gone. You've got the classes for the rest of your life, and you've watched them 10 times in 10 years. You've paid $15 a year per class to trade options for the rest of your life. If you can't make $15 a year on class number 1, I don't know what to tell you. You might have flunked the course. I don't think there'll be any losers in that department. I just don't think so. Class 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to class 17. My goodness, what a license for you guys to learn how to make money. Change your life? No kidding. Ask Savage about his lifestyle change. He'll tell you. Man, oh man. Savage of Wall Street. These gamblers think the new market is their friend. Little do they know we were born in it, molded by it. Fake victories have deflated them. We thrive in red markets. The bear market belongs to us. Alberto Uncles, I'm so looking forward to the Gold Bagel member session tonight. What's the topic? And give Auntie Jen a hug from me and whisper in her ear, how you doing? Seriously, Godspeed. Thank you, my friend. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. I'm going to bring out a trading tip tonight. I'm going to bring out a trading tip for Gold Bagel members tonight, live on tonight's show. So if you're going to watch me tonight or on the rerun as a Gold Bagel member, a trading tip is coming your way tonight that you may want to take a look at. So join me. Maybe upgrade your membership. Maybe become a Gold Bagel member. Maybe it's time to, this guy gives us a trading tip that I can make $500 on, just $500. That's a whole year of Gold Bagel membership plus 200 left over. Hello, that would work. Brian, apparently he is a retired analyst, says Brian, about this guy who said sell SoFi. Great. Brian, shouldn't analysts only be analyzing when there are earnings or some sort of big news updates on the company? Or should people not pay attention to retired analysts so much? Maybe that's the problem. It's not the analyst's fault. Alberto, analyst or analyst? Savage of Wall Street. I got analyzed yesterday. I'm quite sore today. I'm sitting on a donut here. Dude, laughing. Oh my God. Savage of Wall Street, don't ask me anything. I'm sitting on the donut. Don't ask me anything. Please stop saying tip. Please. Dude, I watched an overview of that, Brian. I'll send you the link. It's pretty weak, poor analysis, pure FUD. JR, so glad to hear that Auntie Jen's doing well. So excited to hear of her progress as she recovers. Love to Auntie Jen. Thank you, my friends. Karen, I watched class 17 a few days ago. It paid for itself 5 times over with my first AI rollover Also, best wishes for a speedy recovery. There's an indicator. If you can do that every time you do a rollover for the next 5 years, how many rollovers do you think you're going to do a year for the next 5 years? 10? That's 50 rollovers. That's $37,500 in returns, and you paid $150 for the class. Yeah, it's good return on your money, isn't it? Yeah, I would say so. That's why I did it. I want viewers to understand. You hang around this channel a while, take these classes, hang out with these people here. We got the Discord channel, we got Wednesday night primetime live, we have every morning your primetime show, your alert show. How can you not make money here? How can you not make money here? Come on. Give me a break. Tell you, JR, hey, I say, let the FUD do its work. We'll just buy more. What does FUD stand for? I keep forgetting FUD. I have to write these all down sometime. Brian, JR, you are right. I have a stink buy at 736 right now. 742. That analyst was not even a fintech specialist. He was a real estate and land analyst. I mean, wow. Want to hang your hat on someone who specialized in selling marshland in Florida? Okay. Beach Boy Savage, too funny, man. Way too funny. What does FUD stand for? FUD. I don't know what it means. Anybody help me out? JR, Brian, you are likely to get that on a nice down dip. Go SoFi down. That is 742 right now, down 30. Fear and doubt. Fear and doubt, says Brian. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Thank you guys for helping me out. FUD. Whatever. Yeah, fear, says dude. Alberto, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The Savage of Wall Street. So if SoFi sees 699, I'm backing up the truck again. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Brian, Richard, Carlin, thank you. JR, uncertainty is what the U stands for. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your help. There you go. 740 on SoFi. 740. Temporary little dip here. I don't know. We'll see how long it will last. When does it become apparent that some folks are going to go, down here, if shorters aren't covering at 740, they're not going to cover their shorts. Maybe it's time to load this up and enjoy watching them cover their shorts at 12 to 15. Maybe that's what we have to do. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. I'm just saying. Time, of course, is your friend, not the friend of option players. Volume, 12.3 million on SoFi. Absolutely dead quiet. Really, really quiet. Sitting at 742, down 30 cents. GameStop down 5 cents. We're down 49 on Qs. We're down 293 on Spiders. Rocket Lab unchanged. The Dow down 48. There you are. FOMOROI. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Alberto, I had to learn the language as well, but I do Google some as I forget most of these. JR, I see Uncle Bruce is carefully avoiding our junior high bathroom humor here. I've noticed it. Dude, okay, everybody, have a lovely, wonderful day in the market. No problems, just gravy for you guys. BW, Uncle Bruce, you gave us the ability to become the world's best retail cash snipers. Don't matter the range or volatility. Nope, just set up in a blind and set up in the blind to take profits as the opportunity arises. Love to anti-gen. Rock and roll, everybody. Kids, I've got to say my goodbyes. It's been 2 hours, 7 minutes. I have to tend to anti-gen right now. Thank you all for everything. You donators today on PayPal, you guys are great. Thank you very much. You're helping us pay for those for the new walker, helping us pay for that new ice machine she's using, which is gold, Jerry, gold. The procedure itself, our living expenses. You guys are great. Thank you. Make nothing but a bunch of money out there, please. Get rich, would you? And take advantage of these idiots that are just handing it to you. It's unbelievable. Thank you all for all your kind words today and over the last several days and weeks. It's great. Richard, later, Uncle Bruce, neat, Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, you keep torturing Savage. You know that reading these analysts' tips and these analyst tips. These remarks, Bruce. Neat, 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 neat. There you go. Thank you, everybody, and Beach Boy, and thank you, Richard, BW, Dude, JR, Alberto. Thank you, Credit Savage of Wall Street. Thank you, Brian. Thank you to who else has been here? Corinne has been here. Alberto, of course. Who else has been looking? I'm looking at these comments lately. Rolo88, thank you for being here. Savage of Wall Street. Hector's been here. Lame Duck. I sure hope John Anderson's good. Splair, I hope you're getting better, Splair. Thank you. Dean has been here. Spicy Android. Richard Carlin has been here. The Big E, of course. David Duff in the house, baby. DH Ruda. Thank you, guys. Farmalus, Bobby Atkinson. There's JR, of course. Thank you, everybody. All of you who don't comment and just quietly watch what we're doing. Thank you very much. John Gill, thanks, pal. Savage of Wall Street, let's go. BS Gel, GSNG, a member for 24 months. Thank you, Savage of Wall Street, BW. No, I know this works. I know my wife the other night while out to dinner on vacation made a comment to me. You know what? I have not looked at an item price once. I just order what I want. There's a change. That is something. Critters Wall Street gang. Let's see here. Beach Boy Savage. That's okay. Thank you all. I now just order what I want. That is a new world, isn't it? I love it. I want all of you in that world. I want all of you to just go, oh, if you want it, just buy it. We can just write more contracts. It's all right. We'll just do a rollover of our existing contracts. We'll bring in another $5,000. Well, we need $6,000 for that. Oh, I'll have that by tomorrow. Neat for life, says Dude. Savage of Wall Street. By the way, my wife said the same thing. Yeah. It's when it's when your other half, whether it's your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your alternate person, says to you, man. I've been looking at our bank account and all the bills are paid and we don't owe any money on our credit cards. And this Uncle Bruce guy, you are doing some really good work with this guy. That's when you know, when they tell you little things, little hints. They go, wow, this is good. Because at the beginning, you were getting the stink eye. Who was this guy? What are you doing with this guy? Lessons. You're buying what? You're paying how much a month to watch this guy? What? That all changed, didn't it? Yes. She just hands me her phone and I sell her cover calls. I need some money. Do some trading. I need to buy something to do some cover call writing on that thing on my phone and. It is weird, Uncle Bruce. Some of us are going to work on those new struggles, having money like this. It'll get better, as it already is. Uncle Bruce, you are the goat of goats. Thank you, my friend. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate you all. Spread the word if you can. Any of those short videos I make, if you can share them with the world, the more the merrier. If you can share us on whatever it used to be Twitter or on Instagram or Insta whatever or TikTok or on what's that? I forget all the social media. You know what I'm talking about, Facebook and everything else. You can expose this channel to anyone else. I thank you, because the more people who follow us will start doing what we do here, and they will be, what will they do? They will buy SoFi. They will pick up Matterport. They will buy ME. They will do what we do, and we have new people to talk to about trading strategies and everything else. Absolutely the best. And I don't know. I have no idea. But one day it will happen where I will wake up and turn on my computer and I will be talking to what I think will be 220 people in the morning. And I'm talking to 2,400 people in the morning because somebody out there shared a video of mine to wherever, and it got picked up by some media outlet, by some financial writer, by some, I don't know what. And there are 50,000 people who are aware of this channel who have never heard of it before because video got shared directly or a second time or a third time or a fourth time. I don't know. The next thing you know, whoa, there's a whole bunch of people here, and the membership numbers are climbing, the class numbers are climbing, and the comment section is just exploding with all kinds of people talking about this idea, that idea, that idea. New joiners. Yeah, a lot of happy husbands and wives out there all of a sudden. Thank you all so very much for helping out the channel, and I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. Keep an eye on the short vids as they keep coming out. I'll see you tomorrow, tonight. I'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern. Don't forget about that. 7 o'clock Eastern tonight for Gold Bagel members. Subscribe now. Become a Gold Bagel member. Join me tonight, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning first thing, of course. Thank you all, and I'm going to go see how Jen is doing. We'll keep you posted. All right, kids, get richer. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.